Guest of honor for today's function, Honorable the Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice BHUSHAN Gavay, the Chief Justice of the High Court of Bombay and Goa, Honorable Justice ALOK Aradhe, Honorable Justice Sonak, Honorable Justice Makran Karnik, Honorable Mrs. Justice Dangre, Honorable Justice Valmiki Menezes, Honorable Miss Justice Nivedita Mehta, Honorable Mr. Justice Ashwin Bhobe, the Chief Justice, former Chief Justice of the Allahabad High Court, Honorable Justice Rebello, the retired distinguished judges of the High Court of Bombay and Goa, the Learned Advocate General for the State of Goa, Senior Advocate Devidas Pangam, the Deputy Solicitor General, State of Goa, Praveen Faldesai, Senior Advocates, Senior Associates, the Registrar General, Supreme Court of India, the Principal Secretary to the Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice Gavay, the Registrar General of the High Court of Bombay and Goa, Principal Secretary to the Chief Justice of High Court in Bombay and Goa, the members of the District Judiciary, Principal District Judge, North Goa, Principal District Judge, South Goa, the Senior Associates, Junior Associates, Professors, Directors, Director of NIO, Administrator of NIO, students, my colleagues at the bar, and ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to believe I've covered all. On behalf of the Goa High Court Bar Association, I extend a very warm welcome for the felicitation function of the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice BHUSHAN Gavay. Henry Longfellow said, and I quote, "It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll, you are the captain of your fate, you are the master of your soul." These words and the essence of these words encapsulate the journey of the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice Gavay. From a semi-slum school to the Chief Justice of India, it is indeed a path-breaking journey. There are achievers and path-breakers. Honorable Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice Gavay, is an achiever and path-breaker. And his appointment as the Chief Justice of India would be marked in the history of the Constitution and the Supreme Court of India. It is the journey whereby, despite the challenges and all that he encountered, he made it right up to the pinnacle of success, to the summit. And that's why we are here to celebrate Honorable Justice Gavay, the Chief Justice of India. When we celebrate the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Justice Gavay, we are just not celebrating his achievement, but we are celebrating the Constitution of India. We are celebrating the makers of the Constitution, notably Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, when they envisioned a future for India. And after 75 years of the Constitution coming into force, if anyone has any concerns whether the Constitution has served us well, are we moving in the right direction, the vision of the Constitution makers, notably Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, is actually bearing fruition. We don't have to look very far. We have to only look at the rise and ascendancy and the appointment of the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice BHUSHAN Gavay. Well, it is his intellect, his dedication, resilience, profundity of legal knowledge, and determination that he's managed to wade through a morass and make it to the highest position, that is the Chief Justice of India. Well, if you ask me what are the defining characteristics, I would say his middle name is Balance. Balance in the way that he conducts himself, balance in the way he conducts the court, balance in the way he has a perspective on competing rights, and balance in his relationships, which is evidenced not just from the number of people who have attended this gathering, but the gatherings over the last 2 months, and the connect that he has had with people. But according to me, the overarching virtue would be his humility, grace, integrity, and his humble nature. And possibly that's the reason why the exalted position of the Chief Justice of India sits very lightly on his shoulders. Well, he has delivered judgments on various issues, constitutional issues, taxation, corporate, criminal. In fact, there was the book which was recently published by the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Bar Council of Maharashtra, wherein 50 judgments were printed. I'll be candid, I didn't read through all of them. I just rummaged through some pages, and all that I could gather is that it was a broad canvas which really indicates Honorable Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice Gavay. On this occasion, I would just like to quote jurist Fali Nariman when he said at his linguistic best, or at his Felicitor's best, he said when a judge interprets, or if the role of the judge to interpret the Constitution is to be considered, it is like an artist painting a picture. The frame of the picture and the tools one has to draw from the text of the Constitution, from the structure and the history. But in some measure, it is the judge who is an artist in a metaphorical sense, who has to then give it its understanding, its perspective. And using that metaphor, there are various judgments which would qualify as artistic works. But personally speaking, and that is now the most read and referred to judgment as a path-breaking judgment, that would be the, I don't know whether it's famously or infamously called the demolition case. That was amongst the few times that it was sheer artistry of work, a structure, a house structure. We appear, in fact, Honorable Justice Dangre also will bear me out on this, that when it comes to structural illegal construction, Goa leads. But we never really associated the structure with so many social rights, constitutional rights, and a reading of the judgment really led me to believe that it is sheer artistry of work. As far as Goa is concerned, Honorable Justice Gavay has struck a chord with the members of the legal fraternity of Goa in his short stint. And it is indeed a matter of great pride for us at the Goa High Court Bar Association. We represent the legal fraternity of the members of the High Court Bar to host this felicitation function. And it's only befitting that we host this function after all other associations have hosted it, because we would like to believe we reserve the best for the last. So with those not so few words, let me just start by greeting the members, the dignitaries on the dais. May I request our member, Advocate Nikhil Pai, he's just running his way to the stage. May I request Advocate Nikhil Pai. May I request the dapper-looking Nikhil Pai to kindly present a hamper to Honorable Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice BHUSHAN Gavay. May I request our Vice President, Advocate Dattaprasad Lavandi, to present a hamper to the Chief Justice of High Court of Bombay and Goa, Honorable Justice ALOK ARADHE. Advocate Lavandi is the former Advocate General and the fittest and the wittiest amongst us all. May I now request, they were all supposed to line up here, I don't know where they are. May I request Simon Correa. So why don't you have a seat? May I request Advocate Simon Correa to kindly present the hamper to Honorable Justice Mahesh Sonak. She is the youngest and the only woman representative of the committee, but she packs quite a punch and makes up for the lack of numbers. May I request our Treasurer, Rama Revonkar, the modest and unassuming Rama Revonkar, to kindly present the hamper to Honorable Justice Dangre. He is quite modest about the expenditure of the association as well. He hasn't yet approved the budget for this function. May I request, I think the next member in line, Prashila Rolkar, to kindly present the hamper to the Learned Advocate General, State of Goa, Senior Advocate Devidas Pangam. May I request Simon Correa to present a hamper to the Learned Solicitor General, Deputy Solicitor General, Praveen Faldesai. Okay, may I again request Advocate Nikhil Pai to present the hamper to our dynamic President, Senior Advocate Coelho Pereira. Young and dynamic President, Senior Advocate Coelho Pereira. Our President has promised to share that hamper with us. And if you go by the last 1 year, we have no reason not to believe him. Now to move on with the function, may I request our President, Senior Advocate Coelho Pereira, to kindly give his opening remarks.
Honorable the Chief Justice of India, Mr. Justice BHUSHAN Gavay, the Honorable Chief Justice of our High Court, Mr. Justice ALOK Aradhe, Honorable sitting and retired judges of the Honorable High Court of Bombay here present, retired Chief Justice of Allahabad High Court, Mr. Justice Rebello, the Learned Advocate General of State of Goa, senior advocates here present, the Learned Deputy Solicitor General, and my esteemed colleagues at the bar and the students of law here present. Though the board here displayed reads that we are gathered to felicitate the Honorable Chief Justice of India, I might say that the occasion today is not only felicitation on the appointment of Mr. Justice B.R. Gavay as the Chief Justice of India, but we are gathered to celebrate and acknowledge the achievements of a great judge and a good and noble man. That's Mr. Justice BHUSHAN Gavay. I say so with conviction and with no hesitation. Mr. Justice Gavay sat here as a judge in Goa bench of the Honorable High Court in 2014 as the then judge of the High Court of Bombay and presided over the bench in the year 2014 for a short span of time from October to December. In this short span of time, he conquered the hearts of many of us, one of them being me. I had the occasion to appear and argue matters before Mr. Justice Gavay. At the time, in fact, had the occasion to judge Mr. Justice Gavay from the other side of the podium, while Mr. Justice Gavay on the other side was sitting to judge the matter which I was arguing as a counsel. It was during the short span of time that I found in Mr. Justice Gavay the incarnation of a good man and a good judge and a noble nature. His qualities of a good man and his noble nature have in fact made Mr. Justice Gavay a good judge and have made Mr. Justice Gavay climb the ladder of success to achieve the position of a leader of the bar and today the leader of the judiciary of this vast country. Mr. Justice Gavay, you are a person with a large heart and a good human being. I am not using adjectives, but spelling out my feelings and my perception of the man I admire. Though gregarious and friendly person, yet you, sir, have proven to be a judge of sternness, stuff, and of a mental equipoise, always firm and undeflected, and a judge who does not allow your personal prejudices to go in the decision-making. Your stern stuff, unbending, is reflected in many of your judgments. Sir, on assumption of office as the Chief Justice of the country, we know of the judgments you have rendered in the case of illegal demolitions by the state of Uttar Pradesh, where you, sir, held that the executive cannot be the judge, the jury, and the executioner. Your consistent views in bail matters, that bail is the rule and jail is the exception, in fact, reflects the care and concern you in a position of a judge have for the poor and marginalized section of the population. I have had several occasions to interact with and experience the affability of Mr. Justice Gavay. Since the time he sat in Goa as the then judge of the Bombay High Court, when I became the president of the High Court Bar Association, and when I met Mr. Justice Gavay, then as a judge of the Honorable Apex Court, at a conference of the Bar Council of India, organized in New Delhi in the year 2024. Instead of me coming forward to greet Mr. Justice Gavay, he came and wished me. That truly touched my heart and made me realize the humility and humbleness of this great man. I then invited Mr. Justice Gavay to deliver a lecture for a function which Goa High Court Bar Association was holding in celebration of 40 years of the establishment of the High Court of Bombay at Goa, and at the same time 50 years of the judgment in the case of Keshavanand Bharati. Mr. Justice Gavay promptly accepted the invitation despite his busy schedule and honored us with his presence and delivered his address on constitutional law for 45 minutes or thereabout, ex-tempore, quoting judgment after judgment from his memory and an elaborate on the fact that the basic structure of the Constitution was the foundation of the country's unity. It is then that I and the members of the Goa Bar could get the taste of an erudite dissertation on the Constitution and the feel of Mr. Justice Gavay's in-depth knowledge of law. I must say that Justice Gavay has a personal attachment to Goa, and I say so from what I felt and experienced. I must remind Mr. Justice Gavay of the fact that Mr. Justice Gavay was instrumental in laying the foundation stone of the High Court complex in Goa. It was during his short tenure when he was in Goa that he worked tirelessly to see that the foundation stone of the project was laid, and then he left for Bombay on a change of assignment. So I must say that if we have today a state of art High Court complex in Goa, Mr. Justice Gavay has a share of his efforts in the imponent High Court complex at Porvoor in Goa, where we all practice. The other instance which touched me was when at a function which Mr. Justice Gavay attended, held jointly by the Goa High Court Bar Association and the Bar Council of India, I made a grievance in my speech that Goa did not have any representation in the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, As Goa did not have a reserved seat for members and could not get a member elected to the Bar Council and was dependent entirely on the members elected from the adjoining constituency in Maharashtra, I made this grievance in the presence of the functionaries of the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa who were present. I must say that Mr. Justice Gavay rose to the occasion and in his address at the function requested the functionaries of the Bar Council of Maharashtra present to address the genuine grievance of the members of the bar from Goa. This made me believe that Mr. Justice Gavay developed in a short span of 4 months when Mr. Justice Gavay sat in Goa an in-depth affection for the members of the Goa bar. Mr. Justice Gavay, in fact, has been also instrumental in seeing that the International University of Legal Education and Research, that is IULR, was set up in Goa, enabling us to have an institution of an international caliber in law. Sir, you are the first Chief Justice of India to greet us, Sir, you are the first Justice of it to grace a function organized by the Goa High Court Bar Association. And in fact, this function being held today is also to celebrate your affection for Goa. On behalf of the bar, I thank you for accepting our invitation and being with us today despite your busy schedule. If you recollect, sir, 2 years back, you had released the magazine published by our association when the association was celebrating 2 milestones, 50 years of Keshavanand Bharati's judgment and 40 years of the High Court of Bombay at Goa. Today, we are proud to have you as a Chief Justice to release the 2nd edition of the magazine. And we are honored to have you to launch the website with the Welfare Trust of the Goa High Court Bar Association, namely the Goa High Court Bar Association Welfare Trust. And these 2 launches at your hands, sir, have a lot of meaning and symbolism for the members of the Goa High Court Bar Association. Sir, though your tenure as a Chief Justice is a short tenure, you have proven your administrative capabilities, which I need not elaborate. But my conscience would be hurt if I don't express my feelings. In a short span of time, upon taking up office, you have crossed all the hurdles and started effective measures to make justice reach the doorstep of the poor and the aggrieved. The steps you have taken to activate mediation and conciliation and the setting up of Kolhapur Circuit Bench of Bombay High Court, cutting through the red tape, and the appointment of judges in several high courts since you have taken over as CJI, which have been made obviously to clear backlog of cases, are evidence of your capabilities and a mirror of your noble nature. Talking of your noble nature, sir, I must, in the context of your short but fruitful tenure, end my address by reciting a poem by Ben Jonson entitled The Noble Nature. It is not growing like a tree in bulk doth make man better be, or standing long an oak 300 years, to fall a log at last, dry, bald, and sere. A lily of a day is fairer far in May, although it fall and died at night. It was the plant and flower of light. In small proportions, we just see beauty see, and in short matters, life may perfect be. Sir, I am sure that in the remaining term of your tenure, you will achieve what you aim for the country. Thank you.
Thank you, President. Senior Advocate Coelho Pereira. That was all pervasive and comprehensive. But I'll just briefly allude to one aspect that he referred to, which had a lasting impression on the minds of the Goan legal fraternity. And that was the talk that the Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice Gavay, delivered on the Keshavananda Bharati judgment without a scrap of paper. That judgment has 13 judges who have authored different judgments. If you go by PDF, it's about 1,000 pages. So the he just deconstructed, Honorable Justice Gavay deconstructed the entire judgment and simplified it for the understanding of the members of legal fraternity. It is supposed to be a dense, deep in philosophy judgment, but it is the sheer caliber and oratory skills of the Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice Gavay, that he could put it out in a manner that everyone could understand. In lighter vein, if I may say so, it is said that you can either read the entire judgment, absorb it, and assimilate it, or get married. It is humanly impossible to do both in one lifetime. So that's another feather in the cap of the Honorable Chief Justice of India. Now on to the next speaker. Well, she has, her ladyship has, in her brief stint in Goa, has had one of the most impactful assignments. It is her intellect, her work ethic, approach to take the bull by the horns and be decisive, as also in terms of sheer industry, it is phenomenal. So may I request Honorable Justice Dangre to kindly address the gathering today's function.
Honorable the Chief Justice of India, Justice BHUSHAN Gavay, the Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, Justice ALOK ARADHE, Justice Mahesh Sonak, my brother colleague, senior brother colleague, Justice Karnik, Justice Valmiki, Justice Ashwin Bhobe, my sister Nivedita, the retired, sorry, I should not use the word retired, the former judges of this court, including Justice Rebello, the retired Chief Justice of Allahabad High Court, all the senior counsels who are present here, the Learned Advocate General, Mr. Devidas Pangam, the members of the judiciary, the President and the Secretary of the Association, as well as the other members of the association who are present here to grace the occasion, and all my dear friends. A very good evening to all of you. I don't know, I'm trying to learn Konkani, but I can only say, Devbori Sanziam, that is good evening. This beautiful evening, we have gathered to celebrate an occasion, to celebrate a virtuous and ethical, upright, and a benevolent human being, Justice Bhushan Ramakrishna Gavai, on his elevation to the highest and the most coveted post of the judiciary, to the Chief Justice of India. Recently, that is on 14th of May 2025, we have all witnessed a historic moment. And as far as Bombay High Court is concerned, of course, including Goa, we were all jubilant with joy as we could see my lord being administered oath by the President of India. I don't know how many of you were present on the occasion, but few of us had an opportunity to be present. And what in Marathi I could say, na bhuto na bhavishyati. The lawyers from Bombay, Nagpur, Aurangabad, Goa, so many lawyers flocked to be a part of that celebration, knowing very well that the entry to the President's house is going to be restricted. Everybody is not given the pass. Everybody is not, there was a limited entry, only 150 people. But you won't believe, people just came to see that we may get even an opportunity to see the Honorable, the Chief Justice of India, donning the seat even for a moment. So people just flocked to Delhi, and there was a sea of people, so it was a moment which all of us have shared just recently. I must say, everyone's hearts swell with pride as large number of people actually lived the moment. The ceremony thereafter continued as each of the place where Justice Gavai had his presence right from his birthplace Amravati, the large part of his practice being in Nagpur, his attachment with Aurangabad, each of the bar association was eager to felicitate my lord. Of course, Amravati was the first choice. We wanted that Nagpur should have been the first choice, but in any case, Amravati took the pride. Thereafter, it was Aurangabad, it was Nagpur. And I'm fortunate enough that when it came to Goa, I happened to be in Goa as the administrative judge. The Initially, the function was scheduled on 19th with a lot of disappointment, but there was no other way out. We had to postpone it. But I know each of you and each of the member of the judiciary in Goa was eagerly waiting for this moment. And today we have Honorable Justice Bhushan Ramakrishna Gavay before us. Justice Gavay, a son of R.S. Gavay, parliamentarian and former governor, and Kamla Gavay, grew up in a family steeped in public life, inspired by the egalitarian legacy of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar and grounded in Buddhist faith. That inheritance of social commitment harnessed to constitutionalism, and it threads through his professional arc. Practicing first at Bombay High Court and primarily at Nagpur bench, he developed a reputation in constitutional and administrative law. His practice was substantial. He was on most of the standing bodies like Nagpur Municipal Corporation, Amravati Municipal Corporation, and so many other bodies. He served as an assistant government pleader and additional public prosecutor, and later became a government pleader and public prosecutor at the Nagpur bench. I am one amongst the few fortunate who had an opportunity to work with him while he adorned the post of the government pleader. His tenure, of course, we all know, I need not repeat the fact that from the year 2003, his journey till the year he went to the Supreme Court is marked with excellence and sheer dedication. His tenure is scheduled up to 23rd November 2025, as all we know. But it definitely has the imprint of a Chief Justice, imprint of a Chief Justice is not to be measured in the length of time, but it is to be measured in the moments. The cases that will be steered, the constitutional conversation curated, and the institutional care exercised for the court and the bar. Not only upon assuming the office of the Chief Justice, but even before, since Lordship was elevated to the Supreme Court as a judge in the year 2017, he's an author not less than 300 judgments on variety of topics, and sometimes complicated topics like IBC, as the judgment, the very first judgment after the IBC 2016, which was rather a difficult law to understand, is authored by his lordships. His eloquence is reflected in the refined judgments. Maybe it is a judgment in case of upholding the abrogation of Article 370, the decision in Association for Democratic Reforms versus UNAFIDA, striking down the electoral bond scheme. In his widely noted ruling, where Lordship condemned punitive demolitions of houses of accused without due process, reiterating fair hearing norms, a vital statement of constitutional limits in an age of muscular administration. His novel thinking is also found in the issue of subclassification within the scheduled caste, as he underscored the necessity of identifying and excluding the creamy layer within the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe categories, so that affirmative action remains substantively equal rather than merely formally equal. But if you ask those who know him what truly defines him, they won't begin with the titles. They will speak of the person, the magnanimity, the erudition, the humility, and above all, a heart of gold. Magnanimity in him is not merely theoretical generosity. It is a daily discipline, sharing credit, absorbing blame, protecting the young from harsh winds of public life, and letting people grow without fear of missteps. When a room is tense, he does not look for a victor. He looks for a way forward. When a disagreement arises, he softens the edges without diluting the principle. His grace under pressure is not tactic, it is his character. His learning is rigorous and quietly won. He reads deeply, listens closely, and speaks with a clarity that lifts the fog from the complicated questions. And so many of his judgments, anybody who has read his judgments has seen it through. He has the rare gift of making difficult things simple without making them simplistic. He prefers 10 good words to 20 decorative ones, and he never uses complicity as a curtain. For him, intellect is not an ornament, it is a light. And all those junior lawyers who have read the judgment, sometimes some of the judgments it's very difficult to digest. But when you read the judgment authored by Justice Gavay, it's simple to understand, short sentences, and it doesn't take, you can understand the law in one judgment, you'll follow the whole of the law. What sets him apart, however, is his instinctive compassion. He is attentive to those who rarely gets anyone's attention. The intern who is unsure, the clerk who is anxious, the peon, the chobdar in the office, and he knows everyone by name. I mean, I'm really surprised whenever he looks someone, a common man in the crowd, he'll call him by his name, ask what his child is doing, whether he has passed 12 standard, what is his, this is his uncanny habit of his lordship, which is very rare. He greets by name, thanks by habit, and carries ceremonies at arm's length. He listens without hurry and never mistakes loudness for strength. These qualities possessed by his lordships are not separate islands. They are one coastline. Magnanimity without erudition is sentiment. Erudition without humility is vanity. Humility without a heart is theater. In my Lord Justice Gavay, they all come together to form a manner of leadership that is steady and rare. His lordship has an uncanny way, as I have said, for connecting people, and only element which he looks into is that he is human. That's the only factor. And recently, in Kolhapur, we all had an opportunity to witness this. The swarm of people which gathered to celebrate the establishment of Circuit Bench of Bombay High Court at Kolhapur was not only to live the historical moment, but also to pay regards to the visionary, their own Chief Justice. I had never seen such a crowd gathered because I was personally present there, and the only moment when I have seen such type of people swarming was when India won probably the World Cup, and no other occasion than this. Much will be written about his lordship's milestones, but the measure of a life in public service is not only the heights one reaches, but it is the warmth one leaves in places one passes through. Ask his colleagues and staff, and you will hear the same phrases repeated: calm with passivity, gentle without softness, principled without rigidity. What we learn from a figure like this, that the most enduring influence is not made of declarations, but of habits. That civility is not decorative, it is the atmosphere in which justice can breathe. That clarity is an act of respect. Every Chief Justice inherits the same constitution, but each leaves behind a distinct register of priorities. Justice Gavai's record, being transparency in democracy, procedural fairness against extra-legal punishments, calibrated affirmative action, and stewardship of institutions which would offer a coherent vision for the times to come. Whether guiding the Supreme Court's dockets, mentoring a bar that mirrors India's plurality, or strengthening legal aid and legal education, Chief Justice BHUSHAN of Gavay stands as a jurist of first who has kept faith with the Constitution's most enduring promise, equal justice under law. We welcome you, my lords, and we must say that Honorable Justice BHUSHAN Gavay, the Chief Justice of India, is the Chief Justice of people and for the people. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Mr. Justice Bharti Dangre, for your eloquent, thought-provoking, and insightful address. Deserves a round of applause, a special round of applause. Well, our next speaker is also an achiever in his own right. He is the Advocate General for the state of Goa, Senior Advocate Devidas Pangam. He's been serving as the Advocate General for a very long time. And despite the volatile political and litigation climate, he managed to maintain a very calm veneer. So he gets a sense of calmness to the entire legal proceedings, despite the multitude and variety of issues that he needs to deal with and address. May I request our Advocate General, State of Goa, Senior Advocate Devidas Pangam, to deliver his address.
Good evening, Honorable Chief Justice of India, Sri B.R. Gavay, Honorable Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, Sri ALOK Aradhye, respected dignitaries, members of the bar and the bench, and my fellow colleagues. It is my privilege to stand here today to welcome the Chief Justice of India. Although we have had the privilege of welcoming your lordships to Goa earlier, Today's moment carries added pride and significance. For this, you first visit to our state after assuming the august office of the Chief Justice of India. Goa feels especially privileged to host you in this capacity, and we are deeply proud that a person of your caliber adorns this pivotal post. Your appointment has indeed added to the grandeur and dignity of the office of the Chief Justice of India. Before ascending to the highest judicial office of the land, your Lordship's journey was one that inspired both respect and affection. Known for being down to earth, for your sharp intellect, and for your deep concern for the last person in the society, you have been and remain immensely popular with the masses. Whichever functions your Lordships attends, you are welcomed by thousands with warmth and admiration. Such is your popularity that one is often tempted to say, if you ever were to consider contesting elections after retirement, there is a little doubt that you would win with thumping majority, perhaps even without the trouble of holding single rally. Those who know you closely will testify that you carry not only wisdom but also warmth. Many of us are still amazed by your extraordinary memory, the remarkable ability to never to forget the face or even the name of the person you may have met years ago. This rare quality makes you both a great jurist and a people's judge. Your judicial career has been marked by landmark judgments which have shaped the law and influenced the society in meaningful ways. Two in particular to mind. In your first ruling as the Chief Justice of India on 15th May 2025, the bench led by you held that the transfer of forest land in Pune to be invalid. The case revealed a cartel of builders who had sought to divert forest land for commercial gain. Your order directed that the land revert to the Forest Department, sending a powerful message of integrity and environmental justice. Your another landmark judgment authored by your Lordship was the formulation of Pan-India guidelines against what came to be known as a bulldozer judgment. In that ruling, you made it clear that no demolition of homes or establishment could take place without first issuing a proper show cause notice and giving the affected person at least 15 days to respond. By insisting on these safeguards, your Lordship reaffirmed that the right to shelter is a constitutional guarantee and that even in matters of urban regulation or encroachment, the state must act with fairness, compassion, and due process rather than with arbitrariness or force. This decision exemplifies your clarity of thought, commitment to justice, and vision of fairer society. They are not just judgments, but guiding lights for the years to come. On a personal note, I must recall an experience from my earlier days as a young lawyer. I had the privilege to appear before your Lordship when you presided over the bench of the Bombay High Court at Goa. The matter concerning land acquisition. My submission was that once the notice under Section 6 of the Land Acquisition Act was set aside, Section 4 notice also lost its validity. At that moment, I did not have a precedent to support my argument. After hearing me, your Lordship reserved the matter for the next day. To my surprise and lasting encouragement, when the case was called out on the next day, your Lordship had found a Constitution Bench judgment that directly supported my submission and graciously passed an order in my client's favor. The gesture of a judge taking in the effort to find authority to support the argument of a young counsel left a profound impression on me. It was not just the judgment that mattered, it was the encouragement and confidence that you gave to a budding lawyer. That single instance, for me, reflected the qualities which had defined your journey, that is fairness, scholarship, empathy, and a keen sense of responsibility toward both law and individual before you. Honorable Chief Justice, Goa is honored by your presence today. We celebrate your achievements, your vision, and your humanity. We are proud that Son of India, admired by both bar and bench, now leads the judiciary with wisdom and humility. On behalf of people of Goa, bar, the legal fraternity, I extend our heartfelt congratulations. We wish your Lordship good health, strength, continued success in leading the judiciary of a great nation. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Gomantak.
Thank you, Learned Advocate General, Senior Advocate Devadas Pangam. Our next speaker is one of the doyens of the Goan Bar. He is a fountain of knowledge, wealth of experience. it is a Herculean task to get him to wear a suit. So it is an achievement that of this function and a takeaway that Senior Advocate Lotlikar has actually worn a suit today to address the gathering. Personally speaking, apart from my father, Senior Advocate Surendra Desai, he is my friend, philosopher, and guide. May I request Senior Advocate, he's already on stage.
Honorable Chief Justice of India, Sri Justice BHUSHAN Gavay, Honorable Chief Justice of Bombay High Court and Goa, Sri ALOK ARADHE, other dignitaries on the days and off the days, and my friends. I begin with a small anecdote. A conference was taking place on a very important subject in London, and delegates from all over the world were supposed to participate. One gentleman, very simply dressed, was trying to make his way to the venue when he was accosted by a volunteer who perhaps was under the impression that this man did not belong here. And he asked, "Sir, from which city do you come from?" And deft came the reply, "I come from simplicity." Your Lordship belongs to that city. Simplicity. And this simplicity is ingrained in you. It is an integral part of your personality. It is not put on. It is spontaneous. And that is what makes you spontaneously good. Indeed, during my 50 years of profession, I had never appeared before the Supreme Court. Now, COVID came, and COVID did a lot of difference as far as lives are concerned. It ruined many lives. But it is not as if COVID did not have any positives. One of the biggest positives was that you could now appear before different courts on VC. And I had the advantage of appearing before your Lordship in a matter. We had filed an SLP. We did not have much of a case. But they say, and I always say, it is not enough to have a good case. It is not enough to have a good judge. It is not enough to have a good lawyer. It was not enough to have good witnesses. What you must have is good luck. And whether your matter comes before a particular bench or not is also a matter of good luck. My matter came up before a bench of which Justice Gavay was also a member, but that time he was a junior member. The senior member was on the verge of retirement. And mind you, my entire professional career tells me that when they are about to retire, they do not like to pass adverse orders, negative orders. So that is where I was pinning my hope. I don't know, they talk to each other. There was a very thinking judgment against me, I would say maybe justified. But then, what I can assume was that Justice Gavay must have told his senior brother, I don't think Mr. Lotlika is that bad. Huh? Luckily for us, the court said, notice status quo as on date. That saved the day for many people. Thereafter, I appeared on 2 or 3 occasions before him in the very same matter. He was leading the bench then. Hi, Mr. Lotlika, how are you? The brother judge was getting confused. How is Goa? Goa is very nice these days. I said, yes, sir. You come here. You are welcome. You have got an invitation. Sanjay Bhatt's son was getting married. No, no, no. Why you are appearing on VC? Come to Delhi. I said, sir, I will come after you take over. Ultimately, the matter then came after the pleadings were complete, and he promptly rejected my petition. But you see, my professional experience tells me that many a times your case is accepted by the court, but you don't get relief. They say, operation successful, patient died. It happens so often. But in fact, there are instances, you know, where the operation is unsuccessful, but the patient survives. And this was one of those cases. No doubt he rejected my petition, but at my request, he made an observation in the passing, which I utilized, or maybe say I misutilized later, to protect several structures which were designated or which were classified as illegal. Lordship made an observation saying that if these illegal constructions can be regularized and there is a statutory provision to that effect, then nothing said in the orders which are under challenge will come in the way. That helped my clients. I took advantage of it. Those 30-odd structures are still standing. They were to be demolished. They had to be trimmed. The height had to be reduced, the size had to be reduced, but they are still standing. And this is on account of the approach of the judge. And I am been following his visits to various places where he has been felicitated. And in one of those visits to his old school at Girgaon, he said that I have acquired several values in this particular school, and one of them is social benevolence. This social benevolence is what has helped him to stand against what is described as bulldozer justice. So, this is what has helped out in many instances for people to get justice, particularly the ones which are downtrodden, the poor. My Lord, you have a very short tenure, no doubt, but you have been acting with electric speed, and you have already made a difference to this particular system, and I'm sure by the time you lay down your tools, you will have done a great difference to this particular system. Thank you very much for allowing me to.
Thank you, Senior Advocate Lotlika. been many years in the profession for him, and all that we can say is sense of humor is intact. His ability to captivate the audience is as sharp as ever. Now, the next speaker is the Deputy Solicitor General, Praveen Faldesai. He's held various positions of importance and responsibility and discharged his duties to the best of his ability. May I request Deputy Solicitor General Praveen Faldesai to kindly address the gathering.
Honorable the Chief Justice of India, Adharaniya Gavai Sahib, Honorable the Chief Justice of the High Court of Bombay, Adharaniya Aradhe Sahib, Honorable Justice Sonak, Honorable Justice Dangre, President of our Bar Association, Mr. Coelho Pereira, Senior Advocate, Advocate General, Mr. Devidas Pangam, Honorable Justice Karnik, Honorable Justice Menezes, Honorable Justice Bhobe, Honorable Justice Mehta, all the former judges of our High Court, all senior advocates, my esteemed colleagues who are present in this auditorium today to felicitate the Honorable Justice BHUSHAN Gavay. To pin down points and read speech is not possible with me. And to deliver a political speech, political style speech is not the audience and not the occasion. To speak in front of Honorable Justice Gavay about Justice Gavay will be like एखाद्या काजव्याने सूर्यासमोर चमकून दाखवण्यासारखं. त्यामुळे that is another reason I would limit myself. And there is one more reason why I would not be able to talk too much is Mr. Lotlikar sitting here and Mr. Nadkarni sitting there and staring at me. So therefore I will only share a few of my experiences, one or two of my experiences. It was in somewhere in 2012 when I took over as a government advocate. And then in 2013, His Lordship came to Goa. And I was appearing in a matter before my lords. It was a matter pertaining to promotions, service matter. And I was trying to make out a case. I was trying to convince the court about the proposition that I wanted the court to believe and pass a judgment in my favor. At which time, Justice Gavay said to me that, Mr. Advocate, you are trying to argue something which is not the correct proposition of law. And as luck have Mr. Nadkarni sir, who was the Advocate General at that point of time, entered the courtroom. And Justice Gavay looked at him and said that, Advocate General, your advocate is arguing wrong law before me. Now, my focus changed on how to save myself in the evening. And then I went and I met, the matter went on. That's a different story. But the story that I want to tell my colleagues, to you all, is that good 9 years later, when Justice Gavay was in some function and I was there, my friend Mr. Parijat Pandey, who's from Nagpur, introduced me to Justice Gavay. Introduced in a sense, the introduction had just begun. And Justice Gavay, to my surprise, said that I know him, he appeared before me in the court. My dear friends, the appearance which I just said was my first appearance before His Lordship and also my last appearance before him. That was the only day I appeared. 9 years later, it was a pleasant surprise for me to know that Justice Gavay still remembers, and he says that he appeared before me in Goa, I remember him. This is the memory. I was very fortunate to work with Mr. Lotlikar, and I was always believing that he is the only person with a photographic memory because he remembers everything except my name and Justice Bobe's name, which he forgets every time. But when it comes to matters, he doesn't forget anything. He doesn't forget what he read 6 years ago. So I was fortunate. I was always under impression that but when I saw this kind of a memory, and as Justice Dangre Madam said, that on so many occasions, my lords, call people with their name, everybody. Once you meet Justice Gavay and he remembers your name. The second, my experience with Justice Gavay, which I want to share, is that I was there, my lords, in the function at Mahad, which was a very grand function, very big function, big stage, many people. Just like today's function, I was the smallest, tiniest person present in that hall. My lords had said in the beginning only that too many people are there, don't take everybody's name, just say respected days and continue your speeches. And then when Justice Gavay came to deliver a speech, he said that although I have only said that don't name everybody, but now I have to name, and then he started naming everybody, all the hall. Program was over, and after the program, I was fortunate to be present in that courtroom where his visit was scheduled, and I was there. After looking at me, what Honorable Justice Gavay did is that he said, "Are तुझं नाव घ्यायचं राहून गेलं." And that situation where I was in, I was speechless. Because, as I said, the smallest person in that entire gathering, and Justice Gavay apologized to me saying that it was नाव घ्यायचं राहून गेलं. I was not expecting, I was not knowing that I will be recognized there. But Justice Gavay said that to me. And that is how I know that Justice Gavay has lived to this kind of a habit, that a justice has to be done to the last person of the society. He's always been saying that, and he's just like all of us, just like me, I am very, what we call a bhakt of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. We know Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar through books. We were not so fortunate to see him or to listen to his speeches. So, just like that, Justice Gavay always says that he's the follower of Sri Babasaheb Ambedkar, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. We, people of our generation, have not seen or not experienced Dr. Ambedkar, but we are fortunate to see, because Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar is known to be the most learned person of the world, most intelligent person. He has done so much for the society. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar has changed the mentality of Indian society, changed the way of thinking of Indian society. And that is what Justice Gavay has been following, Justice Gavay has been teaching us to do. So therefore, I will not speak much. Justice Dangre has said, Advocate General also has said, that Justice Gavay, by this nature, has become a real Chief Justice of we the people. And this was another experience which I had last time when I was in Kolhapur. I was sitting in a hall, near 10,000 people were present. On the screen, we were watching the actual inaugural function which was happening. And after some time, when the vehicle of Honorable Justice Gavay came, it was seen on the screen, the door was open, and the 10,000 people shouted in one voice, whistling, shouting, the love, the affection that is shown, goosebumps. Nothing can describe more than that. People love you so much. People respect you so much. And in that Kolhapur hall, I realized that it is in real sense, a judge of people. I would not take too much time because, as I said, I don't want to, we want to hear Justice Gavay also and other speakers also. So, but only one thing I would like to say. In Kolhapur itself, Justice Gavay, when he was on stage and he was talking, he said one thing, that the circuit bench was just getting inaugurated, 10-15, an hour back it was inaugurated, and there was already a demand made by some bar association before Justice Gavay for land on which they wanted to construct a building for housing a hostel for young lawyers. My lords, every time when people speak, they, judges particularly when they come and they speak, they say Goa bar is wonderful. Goa bar is very good. Yes, academically, no doubt about it. Our bar members, our senior advocates are excellent. But from a bar like Kolhapur, which on the day of inauguration itself has demanded something for their young generation, for their young people, if we could do something for our young people, if we could do something for our young generation which is coming up, it would be a great thing. And I would request your lordship to bless us with such kind of insight so that we could do something, we can do something for our future generations. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Deputy Solicitor General, Praveen Desai. Before I go to the next speaker, I'll just briefly allude to all these anecdotes. Personally speaking, I've heard a lot of these anecdotal references from the senior members of the bar. My father, Senior Advocate Suren Desai, Senior Advocate Lotlikar, Senior Advocate Natkarni, the Learned Advocate General. All that I can say is that all these anecdotal references evoke a smile on their faces, which I think is indicative of Honorable Chief Justice of India, Justice Gavay, the person. May I now request the next speaker, retired Justice Reis, a distinguished member of the High Court Judiciary. Sir, may I request you to kindly deliver your address.
Honorable the Chief Justice of India, His Lordship Justice BHUSHAN Gavay, Honorable Chief Justice of our High Court, Justice ALOK Aradhe, my esteemed colleagues, sitting honorable judges of our High Court, my former colleagues of the High Court, the President of the High Court Bar Association, the Learned Advocate General, the Deputy Solicitor General, the senior advocates, and my friends. At the outset, I wish to thank wholeheartedly the High Court Bar Association and the Managing Committee for giving me this honor, despite of being a retired judge, to address this August gathering when it is celebrating the elevation of an affable and amiable Justice BHUSHAN Gavay to the pinnacle of the administration of justice of our rich country. I need not overemphasize the unique qualities of Justice Gavay as they have been eloquently highlighted by the previous speakers. As we have lived and experienced these qualities during his tenure as a judge of the Bombay High Court in a very distinguished manner. Justice Gavay is blessed with pristine qualities of kindness, compassion, and concern for all, besides being a warehouse of knowledge and understanding. I had the privilege of sharing the bench with Justice Gavay in his only sitting in Goa, which was a rich experience for my future career. He had a burning desire to do justice, to ensure that the litigants would not suffer, with his legal wisdom, unwavering principles of law, fairness, and equity. He had an uncanny ability to delve into finer points of fact and law involved in the case. His judicial wisdom enabled him to pass reasoned, sound, and just decisions after examining thoroughly the facts and the law and the principles of law affecting such cases. My sitting with Justice Gavay was based with a lot of congeniality because he always gave encouragement to his junior member. He made us a part of the decision-making process. These are the epitomes of a person with a great character and humility. Justice Gavay conducted the proceedings with so much of ease, so much of transparency, that he gained respect of the members of the bar on account of his vast knowledge and his thirst to ensure that justice is given speedily. He livened the proceedings with self-deprecated humor in a good and witty manner. Justice Gavay also was blessed with admirable administrative qualities. As a matter of fact, when he came to Goa, the High Court employees had a long-standing grievance that they wanted to be governed by the Goa Civil Service rules. When we informed him, he immediately took steps with the Honorable Chief Justice and ensured that a favorable decision was taken before he left Goa. He meticulously planned laying the foundation stone for the new High Court building. He was a party to approve the presentation along with the Honorable then Chief Justice Mohit Shah. He had a hand in innumerable judgments in Goa dealing with the Goa Succession Act, the heritability of Munkars under the special laws in Goa. He had a hand in public interest litigations, in land acquisition matters of Mopa Airport, the sports village. He even decided the interpretation of illegal constructions and deviations which can be regularized under the Goa development regulations. Justice Gavay, with his rich experience as a remarkable judge of our High Court, will definitely help him to perform his sacred duties as the Chief Justice of India to perfection and ensure that the joy and the uniqueness of our Constitution is experienced in all over the country without compromising the constitutional integrity and the fabric. The phenomenal problems which are faced by the judiciary today, which is the disposal of cases, I'm sure, knowing Justice Gavay, his courage and decisiveness. He will take concrete steps during his short tenure to see that alternate dispute resolution is strengthened, the trust deficit for such schemes is reduced, and after taking all the stakeholders into confidence, evolve a machinery which will have an imprint to dispose of cases more speedily. I wish Justice Gavay all the very best, God's blessing, and I hope that he returns to Goa in the month of December so that he can revisit the fond memories and the bonds of friendship with all his former colleagues, which will be our richest possessions in our maturing years. Thank you very much, and all the very best.
Thanks a lot, Honorable Justice Reis. All I can say is in December, the Christmas party of Honorable Justice Reis is one of the best in Goa. So we can take that as an invitation to Honorable Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice Gavay. The next speaker, you can take Honorable Justice Sonak out of Goa, but you cannot take his passion to strive for the Goan bar away from him. He has stood like a rock behind the Goa High Court Bar Association in all its initiatives. Every time we approach him, he's always there. He has bent backwards to accommodate us, and within his capacity, he has done all that he can and continues to do all that he can for the benefit of the Goan legal fraternity. Having said that, as a judge, he's eloquence personified. He is a judge of the highest caliber, profundity of legal knowledge, and it is indeed our pleasure and privilege that we have him here today. May I request Honorable Justice Sonak to deliver his address.
Honorable Chief Justice of India, BHUSHAN Gavay ji, Honorable Chief Justice of our High Court, ALOK ARADHE ji, my sisters and brothers on the bench, Honorable retired judges, Honorable Advocate General, the President of the Goa High Court Bar Association, senior advocates, members of the bar, law students, ladies and gentlemen. This is indeed an honor to be able to honor our Chief Justice of India, Honorable BHUSHAN Gavay ji, in person at Goa. Sir, Goa will always remember and cannot forget your contribution to strengthening this region's judicial infrastructure and resolving numerous service-related and administrative issues in the administration of justice. By your unique distinction of, in fact, you have had the unique distinction of not only laying the foundation for our High Court complex at Purvarim, but also attending its inauguration upon the completion. Your stint in Goa was brief, but what was achieved with your distinctive style and zeal was remarkable, and we really cannot thank Honorable Justice Gavay ji enough for all this. Friends, as I said this morning at the VM Salgaonkar College of Law, Honorable Justice Gavay has been an exceptional judge. His judicial work rests on sound legal principles, aided always by a solid foundation of pragmatism. He has demonstrated his strong determination to uphold the rule of law. Halting bulldozers of injustice is but one instance of this fearless and heroic justice. While maintaining a most cordial and dignified relationship with the executive, the Honorable Chief Justice of India has never in the least compromised the independence of the judiciary. He has in fact strengthened the independence by commanding, not demanding, the respect of the other two organs of governance, the legislature and the executive. Honorable Chief Justice of India has never minced any words in declaring time and again that there can be no debate on which branch of governance is superior or inferior. He has time and again reiterated that it is our constitution that is supreme, and under our constitutional setup, the legislature, the executive and the judiciary are the three vital co-equal organs of governance. In that sense, he is a true constitutionalist. He is a strict respecter of the boundaries set out by our constitution for the three branches of the government. At the same time, as almost all the speakers have expressed, he is most frank and candid. Just as he has the courage and he will never shirk from red flagging the transgressions by the legislature and the executive, so too, the Honorable Chief Justice of India will not hesitate to admit the shortfalls in our own institution and adopt corrective and effective means without any procrastination or any delay. Though co-equal, they say that the judiciary is the weakest link because it has neither the sword nor the purse. But in a democracy wedded to the rule of law, there cannot be any survival with swords and purses alone. The confidence and consent of the people are both the heart and the soul of a constitutional democracy. Chief Justice Marshall, who laid the foundations of judicial review in the United States, famously said that the power of judiciary lies not simply in deciding cases, nor in imposing sentences, nor in punishing for contempt, but the real power lies in the trust, confidence, and faith of the common person. These words, though uttered 200 years ago, still ring true. Throughout his distinguished judicial career, Honorable Justice Gavay has significantly strengthened this trust, confidence, and faith among the common people. He has introduced new dimensions of love, affection, and empathy. These qualities stem from his remarkably friendly personality and innate goodness. Through his actions, both in minor and major matters, the Honorable CJI has demonstrated the difference between mere sympathy and genuine empathy. Sympathy, they say, is feeling sorry for someone's misfortune, while empathy involves standing by and sharing their feelings. Sympathy is saying, I know how you feel, but empathy is truly feeling and expressing, I know, or rather I feel how you feel. Friends, on a personal note, I must say, I cannot resist not saying this, that when Honorable Justice Gavay ji was informed of the medical crisis that we faced or are facing, he immediately called up, showed empathy, offered reassurance, and wished us well. And I say this because I am certain that there are thousands who have had the similar experience at the hands of Honorable Justice Gavay ji. They've experienced his generosity and warmth both in good as well as not so good times. As Nelson Mandela explains, character is how you treat those who can do nothing for you in return. Such qualities of leadership and compassion are deeply rooted in Honorable Justice Gavay, and are felt by his wide circle of friends across the country and even abroad. Goa, as we all know, is a small state, and even finding auditoriums large enough to hold all the Honorable CJI's admirers is a difficult task. The Goa High Court Bar Association has made its best effort. And sir, the outpouring of love, affection, and respect that you have earned and you deserve is clearly visible here today. Honorable Justice Gavai's journey has not always been a bed of roses. They say, especially in legal practice, the profession is either all bed and no roses, or all roses and no bed. There were several difficulties, both social and economic. But what is amazing is that these deprivations and struggles of the early years did not produce any bitterness or rancor towards anyone. Instead, his anxiety has always been to see that others do not suffer due to such iniquities. The Honorable Chief Justice of India has an extremely friendly and down-to-earth attitude towards one and all. To my mind, apart from his other great qualities, it is this attitude that has determined his altitude at the pinnacle of our judicial institutions. Sir, your contribution through your bold and courageous decisions is undoubtedly significant. But even more vital is your role in enhancing and strengthening the reservoir of goodwill that runs deeper than the outcome of a judicial resolution of a socially or a political controversy which is raging at any particular moment. It is this reservoir of goodwill that we the people carry sustains our institution in the long run. While our institution may not possess the sword or the purse, as long as we have the trust, the confidence, the faith and the goodwill of we the people, the sword and the purse may matter little. So your ongoing and quiet efforts to build his confidence, reinforce goodwill, and send a clear message to the most downtrodden and neglected that our institution stands with them, that your Chief Justice of India stands with them, are immense and commendable. You are truly an ambassador of goodwill, fostering a reassuring sense of belonging and respect wherever you serve. We deeply thank you for this contribution. This contribution is deeply felt, though it may be seldom recognized or expressed. Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Justice Gavay ji. In conclusion, let me thank the Goa High Court Bar Association and my Chief Justice, Shri ALOK Aradhe ji, for extending me this opportunity. The High Court Bar Association has really done a commendable job in organizing this felicitation function. In fact, I must say that Justice Gavay is in everyone's heart. He is the lion who is there in everyone's heart, and it is the few of us who have only been given the chance to roar. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Justice Gavay ji, for honoring this invitation and gracing us with your presence. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thanks a lot, Honorable Justice Mahesh Sonak. The depth of your lecture, your address, the felicity of language and articulation is truly unmatched. And thank you once again for your kind words to the Goa High Court Bar Association. Well, we have a committee called the Magazine Committee, which is headed by Senior Advocate Ramani. He is the chairman of the committee. The committee members are Nalen Mulgaonkar, we have Deep Shirodkar, Chirag Angle, and Nihal Vednekar. They've done a fabulous job. The magazine is a compendium of articles and contribution from the honorable judges, the senior lawyers, and more importantly, the younger members of the bar. may I now request Senior Advocate Ramani to kindly come on stage for release of the souvenir at the hands of the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice BHUSHAN Gavay. May I also request a President of the Goa High Court Bar Association, Senior Advocate Coelho Pereira, to kindly help in the assist in the release of the souvenir. Can you have a round of applause, please? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice Gavay. Thank you to the dignitaries on the dais. Thank you to our President, Senior Advocate Coelho Pereira. And a big thank you to the Chairman of the committee, Senior Advocate Ramani, for this stupendous work. Well, the next initiative, which is basically the brainchild of our President, Senior Advocate Coelho Pereira, is the Goa High Court Bar Association Welfare Trust. The objective of this trust is to provide a platform for younger members of the bar to excel, to provide necessary training, have seminars, as also give scholarships to the next generation of lawyers. It is indeed noble and laudatory object. The Welfare Trust is proposed. It's work in progress. Just like the working of the Constitution, it's work in progress. But ideologically, the framework is ready. Our kind and generous President, Senior Advocate Coelho Pereira, has volunteered to advance an amount of rupees 1 lakh as an initial contribution. Very shortly, we'll be launching the trust. It's the first time that a trust of such a nature has been conceived and will soon be formalized. Once again, it is purely the initiative of our President, Senior Advocate Coelho Pereira. In a way to launch the trust on this momentous occasion in front of this August gathering, before the dignitaries on the dais, more particularly the Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice Gavay, it can't get any bigger than this in terms of reach. So may I now request Senior Advocate Coelho Pereira to kindly present a check. Kindly hand over the check to the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice BHUSHAN Gavay, to be eventually handed over to our Treasurer, Rama Revondkar. Hopefully after this check, he approves the budget for today's function. Thank you. It is in fact a very special and momentous day for us. To take things forward, we also have the scholarship. We are recognizing the meritorious student who has been the first ranker in the 5-year BLLB course in Goa University, Franskina Gama, may I request Francina Gama to kindly come on stage. It's a moment of glory for her because it's the first time that this scholarship is awarded, and it doesn't get bigger than this. It's at the hands of the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice Gavay. Honorable Justice Gavay, may I request Your Lordships to kindly present the check and the medal to Francina Gama. She's been a meritorious student amongst the highest rankers throughout her academic career. Thank you, dignitaries and deities. You may kindly take your seat. Well, Goa High Court Bar Association is extremely grateful to the Honorable Chief Justice of High Court of Bombay and Goa, Honorable Justice Alok Aradhe. Lordships, I got the name right this time. For having graced this function and having agreed to be the Chief Justice, I'm the chief guest for this felicitation function, which is indeed a momentous occasion for us. Honorable Justice Alok Aradhe has had a distinguished and prolific legal practice till he was designated senior advocate and then appointed as the High Court Judge of High Court of Madhya Pradesh in 2009. He was transferred to the Jammu Kashmir High Court in 2016, was the acting Chief Justice of the Jammu Kashmir High Court in 2018. He was transferred to the Karnataka High Court in 2018, was the acting Chief Justice of the Karnataka High Court in 22, was thereafter appointed as the Chief Justice of the Telangana High Court in 23, and then the Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court in 2025. It's not just about a judicial career. He has also revised 4th and 5th edition of the Administrative Law by MP Jain and Interpretation of Statutes by GP Singh. It is indeed an honor for us, the Goa High Court Bar Association, that we have the Chief Justice of High Court of Bombay and Goa, Honorable Justice Alok Aradhe. May I request Honorable Chief Justice of High Court of Bombay and Goa, Honorable Justice Alok Aradhe, to kindly deliver his address.
Good evening to all of you. Honorable Mr. Justice Bhushan R. Gavay, the Chief Justice of India, my esteemed colleague, Brother Justice Mahesh Sonak, Srimati Justice Bharti Dangre, Administrative Judge, High Court of Bombay, Mr. Makrand Karnik, Administrative Judge of Kolhapur Bench, and my other esteemed colleagues who are present, Mr. Justice F.M. Reis, former Judge of Bombay High Court, Mr. Devidas Pangam, Advocate General, Mr. Praveen Phal Desai, Deputy Solicitor General of India, Mr. Pereira, President Goa High Court Bar Association, Mr. Saresh Lotlikar, Senior Advocate, respected members of the bar, ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege to be part of this gathering which brings the legal community together to felicitate Honorable the Chief Justice of India. The legal community in the state of Maharashtra and Goa is proud that 52nd Chief Justice is from their parent High Court. Justice Gavay is a name which needs no introduction to the legal fraternity. He was born in Amravati in a family deeply rooted to public service and social justice. The early challenges faced by Justice Gavay shaped his belief in justice and equity. Justice Gavay started his career in law in 1985 and thereafter shifted his practice to Nagpur bench of this court. He has discharged judicial functions at Bombay, Nagpur, Aurangabad, and also at Goa for a considerable length of time. Justice Gavay has earned the reputation of a judge who has good command over the matters in any branch of law. The speed at which he decides the matters is remarkable. Despite rising to highest judicial rank, Justice Gavay is known for his simplicity and humility. His journey from Amravati to Apex Court reflects the transformative power of education, hard work, and democratic ethos of India. Justice Gavay's life story exemplifies the value of perseverance, dedication, and commitment to justice. He reminds us that a judge need not be flamboyant to be effective, and that the strength of judiciary lies not in confrontation but conviction, and that the true measure of Chief Justice is not in grand declaration but in commitment to justice, dignity, and constitutionalism. In Justice Gavay's courtroom, law does not exist in vacuum. It interacts with ground reality of Indian life. His lectures in Harvard and Columbia exemplify the voice of a jurist who carries scholarly insight and lived experience into constitutional interpretation. His emphasis on dignity, justice, and inclusion of marginalized resonates deeply within India's constitutional framework. His lordship serves as a role model for aspiring judges and the lawyers. His journey shows that the hard work and determination anyone can achieve the goal and make a positive impact in the society. Honorable the Chief Justice has dealt with in his decisions wide variety of subjects ranging from Tiger Corridor to what is popularly known as bulldozer justice. His judgments echo sympathy and social justice. His public speeches reflect the voice of a thoughtful jurist. I thank the High Court Bar Association of Goa for hosting a felicitation which shows that judicial fraternity in Goa is equally delighted as in the state of Maharashtra to celebrate Justice Gavay's success. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thanks a lot, Honorable Chief Justice of the High Court of Bombay and Goa, Honorable Justice ALOK Aradhe. Now for that part of the function that all of us have gathered for, the felicitation of the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice BHUSHAN Gavay. May I request the members in the audience to kindly rise. May I request the President of the Goa High Court Bar Association to kindly felicitate the Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice BHUSHAN Gavay. We start with a traditional coconut. A shawl, a bouquet. Can we have a thunderous applause, please? It's a pinnacle of success. It's the summit. We have a small token of appreciation. Afterwards. Thank you everyone. Thank you Honorable Chief Justice of India, and thank you Honorable Chief Justice of the High Court of Bombay and Goa, and the dignitaries on the days. Well, just to give you a sense of enormity of the occasion, in 1950, when the Constitution came into force, we were a population of 35 crores. In 2025, we are a population of 130 crores. The Honorable Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice Gavay, is only the 52nd citizen of India who has been appointed as the Chief Justice of India in the 75 years history of the Indian Constitution and Supreme Court of India. So it is indeed a momentous occasion. And now for the moment that we've all waited to listen to our guest of honor, Honorable Justice Bhushan Gavay. But before that, the introduction by our dapper-looking member, Nikhil Pai. May I request Nikhil Pai to kindly introduce the guest of honor, Honorable Chief Justice of India.
Thank you, Shivan. Honorable Chief Justice of India, Shri Bhushan Gavay. Honorable Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, Shri ALOK Aradhe. Respected dignitaries on and off the stage, esteemed members of legal fraternity, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed my honor and privilege to stand before you this evening at this momentous occasion organized by the Goa High Court Bar Association to felicitate an extraordinary jurist, an inspiring leader, and a beacon of justice, the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Shri Bhushan Ramkrishna Gavay. Justice Gavay's journey is one of dedication, humility, and unyielding commitment to the cause of justice. Chief Justice Gavay rose through the ranks of legal profession with an unwavering belief in fairness, equality, and the rule of law. After a distinguished career as an advocate, Justice Gavay was appointed as a judge of Bombay High Court in 2003, where he served with distinction for over 15 years, where he served with, known for his sharp intellect, balanced judgment, and empathetic approach to justice. He earned the respect of both the bench and the bar alike. In 2019, he was elevated to the Honorable Supreme Court of India, where he delivered landmark judgments that reflected his deep understanding of the Constitution and his progressive vision for an inclusive and equitable society. His judgments have touched upon some of the most significant legal and social issues of our time, and they have been grounded in compassion and constitutional morality. Today, as he has assumed the highest judicial office in our nation, the Chief Justice of India, we are not only celebrate his remarkable professional achievements, but also the hope and inspiration he brings to the judiciary, to every citizen. His appointment is a testament that merit, dedication, and integrity are the true paths to leadership. Honorable Chief Justice Gavay's life and career also carry a powerful message about diversity and representation in our judiciary. His achievements inspire countless young legal professionals, proving that perseverance and commitment can break barriers and pave the way for great inclusivity in our institutions. On behalf of the Goa High Court Bar Association and everyone gathered here, I extend our warmest congratulations to Honorable Chief Justice Shri Bhushan Gavay on his well-deserved appointment. We look forward to his stewardship of the highest court of our land and his continued service in upholding the ideals of justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity enshrined in our Constitution. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming with pride and gratitude Honorable the Chief Justice of India, Shri Bhushan Ramkrishna Gavay.
Before address by the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice Gavay, we've had an intervention application from the other associations, and they all would like to felicitate the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice Gavay. To start with, the North Goa Bar Association, represented by the President, Santosh Barne, and Treasurer, Sonali Nagwekar. We next have the South Goa Advocates Association, Kankona Advocates Association, Vasco Advocates Association, and KPS Sanghe Bar Association in unison. They've shown their unity. They've come together to jointly felicitate the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice BHUSHAN Gavay. The trial judiciary is an integral and essential part of the Goan legal fraternity. And it is but natural that they would be part of this felicitation. Next, we have the Panjim Lawyers Forum, represented by Advocate Joachim Godino, the ever so smiling Joachim Godino. Next, the MAPSA Advocates Forum, represented by the President, Advocate Paresh Rao. Next, we have the Goa unit of the Adhivakta Parishad, represented by Senior Advocate Rivonkar and Siddhi Parulekar. Now correct? Yes. As I acknowledged, sorry. Thank you. As I acknowledged, can't help you, you're so popular. As I acknowledged at the start, that we have professors, directors, and a lot of students, and one of the leading institutions is the Illur institution. We have professor from the Illur institution. We have Professor Anirban and Professor Chakraborty. Thank you, professors. So I think we are done. May I request Honorable Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice BHUSHAN Gavay, to kindly deliver his address.
The Honorable Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court, Justice ALOK ARADHE, my esteemed colleagues, Justice Sonak, the member of the Administrative Committee of the Bombay High Court, Justice Dangre, the Administrative Judge of High Court of Bombay at Goa, Justice Makran Karnik, the Administrative Judge of Kolhapur Bench of the Bombay High Court, my esteemed colleague Justice Valmiki Menezes, Justice Ashwini Bobe, Sister Justice Nivedita Mehta, my senior colleagues, Justice Ribello, the former Chief Justice of Allahabad High Court, Justice Khande Parkar, Justice Reis, Justice Bakre, Justice Nutan Sardesai, Justice Bharat Deshpande, the Advocate General of Goa, Shri Ravidas Pangam, Deputy Solicitor General Praveen Fardesai, the young President of the Goa High Court Bar Association, Koilo Pareda, Secretary Shivam Desai, all the other office bearers of the association, the designated as well as non-designated senior advocates, Mr. Aga, the Principal District Judge of North Goa, all the members of the District and Trial Judiciary, Shri Mungade, the Secretary General of the Supreme Court, Shri Adkar, the Registrar General of the Bombay High Court, Shri Satodekar, the Registrar of the High Court of Bombay at Goa, members of the Bar Association, office bearers of the different associations, the faculty members of the different universities, colleges, and dear students. A good evening to all of you. I have a written speech, but that I won't read it. As I was landing yesterday evening from the clouds, because it is rainy season, so it was cloudy. And when I seeing the green environment, the flowing rivers, Mandvi and Zuari, I became nostalgic, and the journey of last around 25-30 years was flooding my mind. Though my sitting at Goa has been for one assignment, but the love and affection which I got from my colleagues from Goa and from the members of the Goa Bar Association has been thoroughly disproportionate to the time I spent here as a judge. And I'm really grateful to you for showering your love and affection in such an abundance, though I had a sitting here only for one assignment. Though I had a sitting in Panjim only for one assignment, but my bond with my colleagues from Goa has been very strong. First of the judges from Goa, before whom I could appear, was Justice Bhatta, R.K. Bhatta, who was the administrative judge at Nagpur. Thereafter, when I was practicing, Justice Rebello, after his elevation, came there and started sitting as a single judge, and I had the pleasure of appearing before him in Nagpur. Thereafter, after my elevation, he had again come and was sitting in a division bench. He was a senior judge by then. I was told that Justice Sinha would be here, but I don't see him. Otherwise, Justice Rebello and Justice Sinha and I would have recollected the times that we spent together at Nagpur. The details I can't share here publicly. Then when I was sitting at Aurangabad, Justice Rebello also was sitting there as a senior judge, and Justice Chandiwal was to chair with him, but since he was on a leave for a week, I had the pleasure of sitting with Justice Rebello as a junior judge for almost a week, and I could learn a lot from him in those 1 week. The practice which we now adopt in the Supreme Court of circulation, he had started when he was an administrative judge at Aurangabad. The letters depicting the urgency used to be filed before the registry. Now we have an online system. But in the lunch recess, he used to examine those letters and decide as to whether the matter is urgent so as to be granted circulation or not. So it's a process of learning from everyone. I now adopt the same practice in the Supreme Court. The registry examines, and only in very rare matters we permit the oral mentioning in the court. Justice Khandeparkar was also sitting at Nagpur, and I recollect he was sitting in court number D, heading a criminal division bench, and I had the pleasure of arguing before him one of the preventive detention matters. Senior lawyer Mr. Madkolkar was opposing me. Then when Justice Lavande, after his elevation, was transferred to Nagpur, I had a very special bond with him. We were there for almost 3 years together before I shifted to Aurangabad. Today, he is not here because of health issues. I think he has shifted to Mumbai. And then when I came here in the winter of 2013, I think winter is the best season in Goa. And I found that Goa is not the place where the God has given the natural beauty in abundance, but the people in Goa are also gifted with various qualities. They are loving, they are affectionate, they are warm, and the hospitality of the Goans, I think, must be one of the best in the country. When I came here, I was sitting with Justice Reis in a division bench. Only 3 of us were there. Justice Dangre was sitting as a single judge, and I think for 2 days in a week we used to sit as single judges. And when I sat here for about almost a week, on Friday I received a delegation from the bar, and they told me, please reduce your speed. It was a good thing for me, because having worked in Bombay, Aurangabad, and Mumbai, where you are flooded with hundreds of matters. So, apart from learning, the sitting at Goa was one of the most pleasant sittings that I had. We used to finish our admissions by 11:30 or so, and then take up final hearings till lunch recess. And after that, in the second half, we used to have lunch daily. Justice Reis, me, and Justice Dangre. We used to get good fish from Justice Reis' home. And in the second half, Justice Reis and I used to divide our judgments and write the judgments in the chamber. And evenings were free. So I used to enjoy good walks in the Joggers Park or at the Miramar Beach. Coincidentally, my wife is not here today. She had to rush back to Amravati because her father was not well. And therefore, I had free evenings to myself. And I took the liberty and utilized them in the best possible manner that I could have. Apart from that, I always consider the sitting at Goa, and particularly at a division bench, as a mini Supreme Court. Like in Supreme Court, you don't know which is the next matter. The first matter may be electricity, the second matter is arbitration, third matter is land acquisition, fifth matter is a criminal bail. And so it's all a mixed bag. And therefore, Goa, when you sit in the division bench, you get variety of litigation. And you have writ petitions, you have first appeals, you have criminal appeals, you have tax matters, you have environmental matters, you have matters pertaining to mining, you have matters pertaining to the personal law of Goa. And therefore, it was a good learning ground for me. And I could learn a lot from the senior members of the bar. We are already delayed, so I won't detain you for long, because I think by Goa standards, 7:30 time is for something else. When I was here, we had seniors like Dr. DeCosta, then Mr. Usgaonkar, Mr. Lotlikar. You have seen how witty he is. Even at that time, he was equally witty, and his googlies, I won't talk about them in the public. Then, of course, Mr. Surendra Desai, Mr. Subhash Kantak was there, and your young president, Mr. Zelman Pereira. I was so impressed with the Goa bar that if I had no personal reasons to shift to Nagpur back, I would have allowed to be here for a longer period. But since my father was not keeping well, I had to go back to Nagpur. And within that short period, apart from learning so many laws, I could also enjoy the best of the Goa. On weekends, I used to go to the wildlife sanctuaries, Kotegaon, and I think on Beregaon Road there is Mahdi and Mahdi Chawar, the waterfall, yeah, Bondla. And then I distinctly recollect my birthday. I had gone to Murudeshwar and Gokan, and I had a mandamus from Justice Reis that while coming back from Murudeshwar, it was a Sunday, you must come to my place at Madgaon and celebrate my your birthday with my family. And so one of the birthdays I celebrated with him. Apart from that, his beautiful house in the village, Lotlim, the time we spent there is immemorable. When I was traveling to Murudeshwar, I was shown the village by my driver to which Mr. Justice Rivelo originally belongs to. Justice Rivelo has been one of the finest judges that the Bombay High Court has had, and his popularity at Allahabad, I think it must be more than a decade that he has left Allahabad. But still, whenever I go to different parts of Uttar Pradesh, still people fondly remember Justice Ribello and Mrs. Ribello as one of the finest judges and one of the finest human beings. And I think that is the Goa which he has represented in Allahabad, and he has got a good name for Goa and Bombay High Court in Allahabad. I think the only other Chief Justice who is also popular in Allahabad High Court is Justice Dilip Bhosle, also from Maharashtra. I had come to Goa after I went back to Nagpur and then Bombay on a number of occasions, and whenever I came here, it was always a pleasure. During short stint, I could learn many things and also contribute to something. We finalized the new building. The plans were already finalized. We had to just implement and have the foundation laying stone. Justice Mohit Shah desired to do it in his period. And within short period, we finalized for that. I still recollect in the plaque, only Chief Justice and Chief Minister and my name were written. And Justice Reis and Justice Bakre came in the evening, and they said, "Sir, there are only 2 judges here, and if our names are kept on the plank, it will be remembered in the prosperity." We called the chief engineer and changed the plaque overnight, and next day the plaque was with the names of 3 judges from the Goa bench of the Bombay High Court, with me as an administrative judge and Justice Reis and Justice Bakre as the judges. So I think I must be the only person who has names on both the plaques, the foundation laying as well as the inauguration. We had come for inauguration along with Justice Bobde, who was then Chief Justice. In the meantime, I had also come for one of the, when after I came to Supreme Court, Justice Sonak, who is an younger brother for me for all the purposes, he issued a mandament that I should come for a legal aid program in Sanklim, the Chief Minister's constituency, and I abided by his mandamus. I think Justice Karnik was also there, Justice Sambre, and then Justice Naidu. We had a wonderful time. So these are the memories which are always very close to my heart. I will never forget the love and affection that I received from the members of the association in 2013 and which continues till now. I had decided that I will accept felicitation only at the places where I was either the member of the bar associations or where I worked, and therefore I had accepted the felicitation by Amravati Bar and Nagpur Bar, Aurangabad Bar, and the Western India Advocate Association and the Bombay Bar Association at Mumbai. The last of the felicitations was slated to be at Goa. Justice Karnik, Justice Dangre, and Mr. Pereira was after me that you must come to Goa. It was scheduled to be on 19th of July, but I fell sick and that had to be postponed. My apologies for the inconvenience caused to everyone on account of the postponement of the function. But I think it was destined to be the last felicitation, because in the meantime, when I went to my village on 25th of July, I go everywhere on my father's birth anniversary and his death anniversary I spend in my village along with our villagers. And the villagers, that themselves, without informing me, arranged for a felicitation in the village. And maybe I think the destiny wanted the last felicitation to be done only in Goa. The 19th July was postponed on account of vis major. I'm also happy that apart from the building, we could also, I and Justice Reis were responsible for clearing the way for the Mopa airport project. I recollect hundreds of matters were pending, and Mr. Nadkarni, incidentally, Mr. Nadkarni and I had started the practice together at Mumbai. And he mentioned the matter that because of these petitions, the important project which is important for Goa is stalled. And then Justice Reis and I decided to take up that matter, and we disposed of around more than 100 petitions. And that was, I think, some contribution in paving the way for an airport at Mopa, which is one of the finest airports that I have seen. Goa is a place where there is no dearth of talents. The young lawyers at that point of time who were practicing, I was very impressed with them. It may not be wrong now to disclose that I was after Mr. Nitin Sardesai in 2013, and I called him in chambers twice, thrice, but it was difficult to persuade him. And then when I went to Supreme Court in 2019-20, this is Dipankar Datta rang me and he said, sir, there is one good lawyer in Goa. I asked him, what is his name? He said, Nitin Sardesai. He said, should I ask him? I told him, you try your luck. I think he stuck up by his word. Then, of course, Mr. Nadkarni's juniors were all upcoming, including the Advocate General Datta Lavande. Then both the Usgaonkar brothers, Mr. Usgaonkar was still in active practice that time, and Sudhin and Sudesh were also one of the very finest lawyers. Apart from that, there were many young lawyers. I must also congratulate Mr. Pereira for launching the welfare fund for the members of the Bar Association. I think that the lawyers in distress need to be helped, and I congratulate him for raising a fund of 50 lakhs. 50 lakhs. So he has contributed 1 lakh, I think, but he has contributed 1 lakh, and he has collected. I think there are many who can contribute here. I will also, because I am going to follow Justice Rebello after 24th of November. So maybe I will also contribute after that. Now we can bank on Mr. Nadkarni and others. I also congratulate the Bar Association for starting the scholarship for the young achievers. The first achiever, Francina Gama, for her achievement receives an amount of whatever amount was given, but the recognition is most important. I congratulate her for her achievement and wish her and all the other students the best for their future. I am happy that when India has completed 75 years of its Constitution on 26th of January 2025, I got an opportunity to head the Indian judiciary. Our Constitution is the most important document for us, and as Dr. Ambedkar used to say, that the Constitution is an instrument for bloodless social and economic revolution. In the last 75 years, the journey has been positive. As I had spoken last year when I was invited to speak in the lecture series, and I spoke on celebrating 50 years of Keshavanand Bharati. I had spoken in detail about the contribution of the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary in upholding the Constitution and marching towards the social and economic justice as envisaged by the Constitution. I must also congratulate the Senior Advocate Mr. Ramani for coming out with wonderful Souvenir on and off the bench. I have always considered my office as an opportunity given by destiny to serve the nation and serve the society. I always considered that the office which we enjoy is not for enjoyment, but for discharging your duties as mandated in the Constitution and for doing public good. I'm happy that in my journey as a judge for last 22, 23 years, I could contribute a bit in the march of the Indian Constitution or India towards the social and economic justice. Some of the judgments have been referred to by the earlier speakers. The widely talked about demolition judgment. We are put up by the fact that the buildings, the houses of the trial, of the people who were not even tried and who were only accused of having certain charges against them. The houses were being demolished without following the due procedure of law. And we held that the houses are not housed by only the accused and the inmates of the family who reside in the house. They also are made to suffer for no fault of theirs. And even if a person is convicted, still he is entitled to the rule of law. And the rule of law that is paramount in our country. And I'm happy that we could lay down the guidelines. We could prohibit the executive not to become a judge, because under the scheme of our constitution, our constitution recognizes the separation of powers of the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature. And if the executive itself is permitted to be a judge, then we'll be hitting at the very concept of the separation of power. I'm really happy that we could do something as a custodian of the Constitution for protecting the rights of the citizens whose houses were being demolished without following any procedure prescribed by law. The earlier speakers have also spoken about my judgment on sub-classification and providing the requirement of creamy layer for the scheduled caste. I have been widely criticized for the said judgment from the people belonging to my own community. But I always believed that I have to write my judgment not by the demands of the people or desires of the people, but as the law, as I understand, and as per my own conscience. Justice Rivelo has certain criticism about though he agrees on my view on sub-classification, he has reservations about my views on the providing creamy layer to the scheduled caste. The reason that weighed with me was, I've seen that from a first generation, a person becomes IS from a reserved category. In the second generation, again his son becomes an IS, again from the reserved category. And again, in the third generation, a person becomes an IS from the same category. The question as I put to myself was that a son or daughter of a person who gets education in the best of the schools in Mumbai or in Delhi, can he be equated with a son or a daughter of a mason or an agriculture laborer residing in a village and taking education in a Jilla Parishad or the Gram Panchayat school? The Constitution provides that, as Article 14 has been expanded, Article 14 doesn't mean that equality amongst all equals. It doesn't provide that there has to be an equal treatment to everyone. What is contemplated is that an unequal treatment to unequals so that they become equal is what our Constitution promises. And therefore, by putting a child of a laborer residing in a village and a child of a chief secretary residing in a Mumbai and studying in the best of the schools, having best of the facilities, my view was that it hits at the very basic concept of equality, and fortunately my view is supported by the three other honorable judges of the Supreme Court. I have yet to get my criticism from Justice Rivelo. I'll again ponder over it. Criticism is always welcome, because we, as Justice Sonak said in the morning, that as a High Court judge, I have myself on 2 occasions held my judgments to be per inquirium, and even in the Supreme Court, I have held myself to be per inquirium once, because judges are also human beings, and they can also err. And therefore, when the issue with regard to the criticism of one of the High Court judges came, I observed in some of my subsequent judgments that the High Courts are no way inferior to the Supreme Court, though in a judicial hierarchy, the Supreme Court exercises powers of a judicial review over the judgment of the High Court by way of an appeal or SLP. But on the administrative side, the High Courts are independent of the Supreme Court, and I'm also equally happy that I could write a judgment with regard to Jhutpi jungles in Vidarbha. Thousands of people residing in slums, they were under a threat of sword that any time the shelter from their head may be taken away. And though we tried to balance out that whatever surplus land was available with the Revenue Department will all be transferred to the Forest Department and used only for the purpose of afforestation, the houses of the people residing in those slums would not be affected. That was an attempt to march towards the social and economic justice as has been enshrined in the Constitution. I've also been happy to head the green bench of the Supreme Court for last 3 years. I could pass many judgments for protection of the tiger reserves, the national parks, the wildlife sanctuaries, the striving of the balance between the development and the ecology. I have always held that we hold the assets of the country for the future generations. The natural resources are held in trust for the future generations, and you can't use them in a rampant manner so that the next generations would be deprived of those resources. But at the same time, we also have to accept that if the country has to develop, the development is also necessary. And therefore, to have a proper balance between a sustainable development and ecology is the need of the hour. When permitting development, the minimum damage has to be done to the ecology, to the environment. And if it is unavoidable, then the mitigation measures, the compensatory measures are required to be done so that the green cover not only does not decrease, but is increased manifold. Day before yesterday, my heart started beating when I saw Madam Norma Alvarez in my court. I had the pleasure of hearing her when I was in Panji, in Goa. The reference has also been made to Kolhapur Circuit Bench, which we inaugurated only last week, and Justice Kiran Kannig is heading the same. As I said the other day, I always believe that the justice should be made easily accessible. Justice at the doorsteps may not be literally possible, but justice without delay and justice without at the minimum cost is what is needed so as to achieve the ideology of political, economic and social justice along with the political justice. And I said, like I said at Kolhapur, what I had in my mind was not the lawyers at the Kolhapur or Sindhudurg or Ratnagiri or Sangli, but a citizen residing in the last village of Chandgarh Taluka on the borders of Karnataka, who for his small problem has to travel all the way to Mumbai, spend thousands on transport, thousands of residing, and we do not know what are the fees in Mumbai, but huge amount of fees on the legal expenses. A person residing on the border of Goa in the last village of Sindhudurg Taluka, going all the way to Mumbai, or a person residing in the border of the Gulbarga district in Solapur district to Mumbai. And the reason I supported Kolhapur was always that these litigants should get the access to justice without delay and at the least possible cost. And I was happy to note that more than 10 to 12,000 people, the happiness on their face in the last Sunday was one of the most happiest moments for me in my life. I think that was one of the steps that we have taken in our stride towards the towards the economic and social justice as has been promised by our constitution. I have already wasted my time. I am really moved by the love and affection that all of you have showered. I do not wish to thank you and have a cord of and stop my relations with you. After 24th of November, my bond with you will become stronger. I am going to come back again for longer periods to enjoy the hospitality of Justice Rebello at his house. He has invited me today, but today I have your invitation. I would like to go back again to Justice Reis' house in Lotlim. I could not go to my dear friend Atmaram Narkandi's house because I had decided that I will not go to any lawyer's house. But I am told that he has a beautiful palace in Miramar. So look forward to visit that after 24th November. And of course, the natural beauty which the Goa has in abundance will always compel me to come back and share good time and good virtues with all of you. I am grateful to all of you from the bottom of my heart for the warmth, for the love, for the affection that all of you have given me. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice BHUSHAN Gavay. It deserves a thunderous applause and a standing ovation. It's a matter of immense pride and honor for us that we've had this occasion to host the felicitation function of the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice BHUSHAN Gavay. True to his personality, Honorable Justice Gavay, the Chief Justice of India, spoke from the bottom of his heart. His perspective on social justice, constitutional morality, and access to justice is something that all of us should strive to achieve. And the entire address was filled with candor, simplicity, and a sense of humor that Honorable Justice Gavay is known for. We are almost at the fag end, but two things. Senior Advocate Nitin Chandra is a close friend. The only way to get him to say a yes is to call him on the cricket field. Talking about criticism, well, as they say, that the job of a judge is high pressure, all the more of the Chief Justice or the Chief Justice of India. 50% celebrate, the balance 50% file review petitions. And irrespective of the criticism, I always consider the job of a judge to be like that of a conductor of an orchestra, where he has his back to the audience and he's focused on doing the job to the best of his ability. On that note, there is one part of the function which is still there. As I said earlier, we are honored to have the Honorable Chief Justice of High Court of Bombay and Goa, Honorable Justice ALOK Aradhe, to be a part of this function. And in recognition of his participation and for having graced the occasion, And as a token of appreciation, we have a presentation. I request the President of the Goa High Court Bar Association to kindly make the presentation. Thank you, Honorable Chief Justice of High Court of Bombay and Goa. Honorable Justice Alok Aradhe, we are truly honored. Well, now for the vote of thanks, Senior Advocate Sudhin Usgaonkar.
Good evening, everybody. I'm mindful of the time, clock is ticking. But the last part of a function, as they say, all is well that ends well, or all good things must come to an end. And in a classical music, they have something called a bhairavi, because it lingers. But there is no time for alap for me, so I move straight away to the Drutagati, and without much ado. I'm just following the protocol given by the President, and I'm his master's voice. So let me start. At the outset, Utsamurti, the function which is held, you accepted our invitation, Honorable Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice BHUSHAN Gavay. He accepted our invitation, it was postponed, and we were very sad, but still he managed, so we are really indeed grateful to you, sir. Secondly, Honorable Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, you came here, it was a Dugdha Sharkara Yog, you added sugar to the milk. It was really wonderful, sir. Thank you. Then our judges, Justice Sonak, Justice Bhobe, and Justice Karnik for attending the function. They came from outside. Then all the sitting judges of the Honorable High Court for the cooperation given and making the event successful. So also the retired judges of the Honorable High Court for attending the function. Learned AG for the cooperation extended for the function. Then the District Judiciary, Principal District Judges of North and South Goa, and all the members of the subordinate judiciary for being present for the function and gracing this. Then the President of all the bar associations and the other members who attended with them. Then principals of the law colleges, as well as Director of ALOK, Indian Institute of Legal Education, and all the students who assembled. We heard the thunderous applause from them. And all the students of other colleges also, as well as the registrar and staff of the High Court for all the cooperation. Then the special thanks go to the Director of NIO and the Controller of Administration for making this beautiful auditorium available and extending all the help to our association for this function. Police personnel engaged in the management of traffic at the venue. Then the caterer, piping tea waits now, Moda caterer. The event manager, Mr. Ashish Rane, and his team for organizing this stage setting. The management of Fomento Group and Taj Group for the function that will follow. The volunteers, as I was coming, Datta, Lavande, and Nikhil told me, don't forget the volunteers. Yes, really. Apart from the bevy of beauties who are the ushers here, the traffic arrangement there outside, that they would, such a systematic arrangement, they would put any traffic warden to shame. It was like President of America coming and, it was so wonderful. So thank you for all the work. A lot of work was involved, and thank you for all. And lastly, and last but not the least, all of you, people who present, you made this success great. So our special thanks to all of you for coming here and gracing this occasion and making this successful. Thank you. Have a happy weekend.
Thank you, Senior Advocate Sudhin Usgaonkar. I'll be failing in my duty if I don't make specific reference to the cooperation of Honorable Justice Valmiki Menezes. He is always there for us for small or big issues, and Honorable Justice Ms. Nivedita Mehta. And of course, to the weather gods, I think they were kind enough. They also understood the importance of today's function. And last but not the least, a president of the Goa High Court Bar Association. I think it deserves a round of applause. It put together this function. We were subjected to a continuous mandamus, albeit without jurisdiction. But having said so, it is purely his efforts and the motivation that has led us to organize a function of this scale. Now for the all-important national anthem, may I request everyone to kindly rise for national anthem. And after national anthem, for all those who have tea at this time in Goa, we have organized a post-tea function. So it's made available right to my left, so kindly head there for all those who would be kind enough to give us company for tea. Thank you very much.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाए तव जय गाता जनगण मंगल भायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
I will just hold it for a moment. There is an instinctive, impulsive, and much needed donation which is announced and declared by the former Chief Justice of Allahabad High Court, Honorable Justice Rebello, of 5 lakhs to the welfare front. Can we have a round of applause, please? Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.